talk about love life. So how's love for a blind person? Are you single? Are you married? Yeah, let us know.
Good question. Wow. And you brought a whole big question, packed.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's somewhere that it's a place that really many people are interested in. So about love, love is something sweet and nice. And like it said that there's someone for everyone,
Sure.
But definitely, apparently for blind people, sometimes there's no one for someone.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yes, you try and try and try, and you realize you don't have anyone. So you start to be the someone for you. You be there for yourself. Yeah, and I think that's why Jesus said you should love yourself also. He knew that we also love ourselves. That love your neighbor like you love yourself.
Yourself. You have to begin with yourself.
Right, absolutely. So, and I'll tell you how it is, both from the world that is sighted and the blind world. How do they treat themselves, those blind people, when it comes to love? And how I think they should carry out themselves, and how the society, the mainstream society, should also handle us. Okay? So let's begin with the mainstream society, those who are sighted. As a blind man growing up, I see people married, I see people dating, going out, and I feel like that's something I want to also do one day in future, And now once I'm grown up and I need to venture into that, it becomes a challenge. Why? Because a great percentage in society, not only in Africa, because many people would think it's in Africa where we are still developing, but it's all over the world because I've interacted with people from different places. Now you realize that many of them, the moment they look at a blind person, they don't have that chip in their mind that tells them that this is also a prospective father, a prospective husband, a prospective, person that we can raise up a family with. He looks at you or she looks at you and she's like, oh, this person needs help. This person needs some donation, some support, some care. It's like we are sick. You go to some of these crusades where people pray. Let me use them as an example. And you're told, now, let the sick come on this side. And you see even the blind are included as the sick. So I always tell them, no, me, I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I'm okay, I'm just blind, but I'm okay. I'm not sick. If you had say, let the blind come here, I would, yes, come. So that is something that I think our people should work on. When you look at a blind person, let the person come first before the blindness. Okay? And when you're introducing maybe your friend who is blind, don't say, this is my blind friend Mandela. This is my friend Mandela. He is blind. That means the person comes first before the blindness or the disability. But in society, they first look at you, they don't even ask your name. They're like, oh, you're blind. So I think that's something that needs to be changed. So it has happened so to the extent that if you ask for a hand, it's something that I've gone through, If you try to talk to a lady, you're trying to chase her, men, we have a really big job to do.
You sure do.
Yes, you have to chase someone, tell them those sweet things. But me, I don't cheat them, because some of them think that when you lie to a lady, that's when they fall for you. No, me, I'll tell you the truth, man. Here I am, this is me. So, such ladies, sometimes they would tell you, hey, what will my friends start saying? Me dating a blind man. What will my parents say? Are they going to accept this? So I think it's high time that people started thinking individually. Like say, what you want is what you want. Don't care about what society or what your church, your family, your friends will say or think about you. You need to think about what you will say about you if you got the right thing, that which you want. You know, I think that's what matters most. Yes, and that has happened to me not once, not twice, man. And it feels bad. Maybe it's someone you really love, you wanted that person, you're starting dating, maybe 3 months later, she tells you, you know what? My mom told me that she can't accept a blind man in her home. And I'm like, so are you standing on your mom's side or on my side? You know, family comes first, Gaia. Okay, good. You go that way. But normally I tell them one funny thing, that one day you'll watch me on TV, some years to come, and you'll be like, oh, that guy asked me out one time, and I said no because of my family. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
You know? So I think, yeah. And then again, now talking about us, the blind people, how do we carry out ourselves when it comes to love? When it comes to dating and getting married and raising families? I think a blind person needs to show that he's capable of doing that. You should not just be quiet and there. Most blind people are not outspoken. They're very quiet. They're not as loud as I am. Yes, they would be just there seated, waiting for some assistance, and sit here, man, we'll bring you food, we'll do this for you. And such are the things that also, when the society sees, they're discouraged from, getting into more details about wanting to know, are we able to fall in love too? Yes, we are human beings, we have feelings. But you should show that you are able to do that. You are able to fall in love, you are able to get married and raise a family up, So that's one thing that I would want also our blind community to listen to and to take an action. Just try and be out there talking to people. Don't be in your own cocoon like, oh, we blind people, we must connect. And these people who are sighted, sometimes you don't trust them. No, you don't have a special world. That's why I'm not for the idea of these special schools, that you have a special school for the blind. No, we should have integrated schools where now, as you're growing up, you learn to socialize and interact with everyone else. And like now you're in a special school, you're only blind people there. And when you're moved into the world, boom, you're confused.
You're not able to fit in.
Yes, you're not able to. You're always, you see, like there are most blind people when they're walking, you realize they're not so stable when walking.
Yeah.
I wonder, I'm not sure if you've seen other blind people. Sometimes when they're walking, they're not really stable. They're walking, but the legs look a little bit shaky. That's because they're not certain of what's ahead of them.
Yeah.
He's afraid that, oh, maybe I'll fall into a ditch, or maybe I'm going to knock something, or, something crazy. It's because they lack the confidence, But it's called faith. Faith is trusting in something you can't see. When someone is holding your hand, trust them that they can't lead you into a ditch, Be confident. Yeah, so I think I've really tried to expand on that. But love is possible, and it's real, and love is blind.
Wow, so there's so much that is there to be learned, so many stories that are to be retold again. And one quick thing that I would want to ask, because Mandela has come with such an amount of experience with him, is the experience of the love life of a girl child different from the love life of a boy child who is blind?
That's a pretty awesome question, Rhoda. And of course, they are different, totally different. And I'll tell you why. Just to lay up, to maybe lay some foundation on my answer, a brief foundation, I would say our African society, in the past, they treated different genders differently. The girl child was mostly the most vulnerable one, always at home, considered to be doing the house chores and all those things, never going to school. And there was a lot of gender-based violence, mostly in the African setup. So you can imagine how crazy it would be, or how crazy it was for a blind girl child, you know, if that is how it was for any other ordinary girl, you know. So it was even worse for a blind child, you know, who is a girl. So you realize that even when it comes to education, because it is education that exposes us out there, you know. So if someone doesn't go to school and she's blind and she's just closed inside the house, you know, seated at some corner, will feed you, will do everything for you, the chances are very high that this person will be taken care of for all her life, you know. And when the time comes for this child to get married or give birth, no man would want a lady who just sits down and is being fed and all that. No. African men like a woman who is industrious and productive, you know, someone who will take care of their family.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge. And most of them, even when they go to school, they are not something, because I've gone through the system and I know something that our people, our teachers are not teaching the blind girl child is to have the confidence that they can make it in life. Well, you can have all the education, you can have all that, but if you don't have the confidence that despite being blind, you can still trust in a man who is sighted for marriage,
Yeah.
then you're good to go. But if you are not told that, I think it's a big challenge.
Yeah.
So that's what our girls face when they grow up, because mostly the men, at least 2 or 3 out of 10, went to school out of some advocacy or something, and so they found themselves in school, and they knew that they need to also talk. And despite the fact that the same challenges try to pop up in the life of a man who is blind, still the man will go out there and try talking to a lady, asking them out, you know, like it is in our African culture. But in the, you know, the girl would not come up to you and say, oh, you know what, I feel like I've fallen in love with you, can we have something, what, you know. That would be crazy in our society, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, and then this is a blind girl approaching you and you're sighted. And hey, brother so and so, you know, I've been seeing you here. No, that would sound weird. So, at least for us men, in as much as it's quite a hassle, not everyone will tell you yes. In fact, many will tell you no, you know. So, but still we'll try playing our cards and asking out different ladies that we feel like are best for us, you know. So that brings possibility that we'll end up getting married, you know. Yes, so that's the difference.
Oh, wow. So if I can pop up this question.
Right.
Are you single? Are you married? I'm sure so many people want to know. Yeah, so tell us.
Gaia is just Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no lady who has taken up my last name yet.
Ooh.
So I'm not yet married. Yeah, I'm single, but I'm hopeful that pretty soon there shall be. There shall be, because I told you, love is blind and so am I.
Wow. So does that mean that you're available?
If I say I'm available, I think our page will be flooded with messages and all that.
So, if you really want to know whether he's available, comment down below.
Yes, and see.
Yes, so that we can be able to link you up to him.